Okay. So we were supposed to start promotion, the next P of retail marketing mix. So the next P is out of the marketing four P's, that is price, product, promotion, and place. So we saw what was price, product, and place, and the last one is the promotion, and one of the very major part of the marketing mix. Now here promotion refers to raising customer awareness of the product. Now many will not be aware about which products are available in the market. Now even for us, though we know the type of product, or let's say which all products is used in the kitchen, or which products has to be used as home decoration, even though we know every day they come out with a new type of product or new variety of product. So we will not be able to 100% be aware of what all is happening in the market, but to some extent we have to update ourselves. uh, if they have if we have to update ourselves once, and make sure that we know what is happening or what are the products available in the market. Okay, so promotion is one of the primary elements used in the marketing mix. So first stage, what we have to see is, once we decide which product we are going to sell and what type of product, we are supposed to promote the product, or we are supposed to market the product. So that is the primary element of marketing mix. Then promotional efforts should work in harmony with product marketing, pricing, and distribution actions that target prospects and customers. So customers are the end users, they are our target people. uh, Now when we are talking about target people, now for stationery or these geometry box and all, the target people are kids, okay, school going kids. So likewise, if you take health drinks or energetic drinks, like let's say for example junior Horlicks or Complan or Milo, again it is school going kids who are the target customers. But if you take the health drinks like D protein and Ensure, okay, so such drinks are pertaining to people, adult people who require enough energy for day to day activities. So these target customers are very important when we are promoting, because you cannot go down and promote the product to a wrong person or a wrong set of customers. So promotion, whatever efforts is put out, it should work with proper marketing and to the proper target customers. Then, as a key marketing element, promotion comprises communication tactics. Communication is very, very important. We have to educate the customer, we have to convince the customer, and then only they will be able to buy our products. So if we are not good at communication, then we will not be able to put across or give the proper information to the consumer. Now if you go to a store, for example, and you ask for shampoo, okay, you have so many brands of shampoo available. So the shopkeeper will ask which brand or which shampoo you want. Okay, in total he'll ask which shampoo you require. Then when you say a particular brand, he will be able to give. Or if you just say give me a shampoo which is costing 1 rupee, one sachet, he will simply take some sachet, some randomly he will take some sachet which is costing 1 rupee, and he will give it to you. So there he is also not trying to communicate anything, you're also not seeking any information. So there is no awareness of the product. But if you are specific, or sometimes if the shopkeeper is specific about selling the product, then promotion takes place. Then promotional tools are used to increase sales, build brand value and recognition, strengthen market positioning, and launch new products. So when you promote the product, or when you go out and market the product, it will increase the sales for that particular product. Then once the sales increases, everybody knows about the product now. So what they will do, that will increase the brand value. So let's take for example Tresemme. Now Tresemme is one brand which everybody knows, and there is this shampoo called beer shampoo. Okay, so this such kind of attractive words which are used as the name of the shampoo, which also says there is a percentage of beer added into the shampoo to nourish the hair and all that. So in such scenarios, it will increase the sales of the shampoo, because first thing, people are attracted towards such brands, and it will also increase the brand value and recognition. So people easily can recognize the product and strengthen market positioning. Now sales have increased, which means many customers have bought the product, which means many customers know about the product, they are happy about the product. So with all this together factors means that the product is able to stand in the market for good amount of time. So once they are able to stand in the market for good amount of time, they will slowly launch new products. Another example which you can add up here is Horlicks. Now Horlicks, they just gave it as a health drink. They did not target any customers. Neither they targeted the small kids nor the adult people. Then slowly, when they did the research on the market, they understood they have to add up the target customers of specific age. So then came Junior Horlicks. Okay, in that also you have stages. Now after getting Junior Horlicks, then the normal Horlicks was already there. Now they have good amount of market share with their Junior Horlicks and the normal Horlicks. So they added something called as Horlicks Growth. Now why that new product was launched? Because they have these competitors called Complan, Bonvita, Boost and everything. Now these people also increase their research, and they came up with these growth products. So Horlicks had enough market with them, so they came out with Horlicks Growth, which is for school going kids only, but it will help in developing, or it will help in growth of the bone for the kids. So once they have the market in their hand, then they will launch new products. As organizations implement their promotional plan, they also seek to educate customers or consumers, increase consumer demand, and differentiate their products and services in the marketplace. So once they're able to market their products well, really well, then in that case, they will make some differentiation in the consumer demand, or they will say, okay, now this product is specially for this age group, or this product is specially for this gender group. Okay, so they will start specializing in one sector, which will give them even more profit. Now with being specialized like this will also increase their demand for the product, and they can also make sure the consumers can be educated more about the product. So once you enter into a subject only, you will be able to understand the subject, right? Similarly, once you get into the business of a product only, you will be able to understand what is the depth of the product, and how all you can use the product opportunities. So that is these are few points of promotion. Okay, any doubts in this slide? First slide, did you all understand? So promotion is just marketing of the product. Okay, now let's go to the next other few points of promotion. Just a second. Now, when assembling a promotional plan, retailer typically employ one or more of the following 5 promotional subcategories. So when they are selling any product, they are going to use any of these ways. Okay, these are promotional subcategories. They'll be using any of these ways to do the marketing. Now we have seen all these phases in the chapter which I dealt before in the fifth chapter, I believe, the direct selling, advertising, and how they do the publicity, pamphlets, brochures. We saw all of them. Now we'll just revise all that once again. So personal selling is direct selling. So here one person personally goes to one place to another, and he sells the product by explaining the product to the people or to the customers. So if any customer has doubt in the product, they can immediately ask and clarify, and if they want any more extra services, they can contact the company anytime. So that is personal selling. So there is full attention given to the customer in personal selling. Then advertising is, there are many types of advertising. So advertising is just that, to put your product either on TV channels or radio, social media. Okay, all this includes in the advertising. Then sales promotion. Now sales promotion is, you will have the agents or you will have the sales promotion people where they will be paid to promote the products. Now if you buy a product, you will get the discount. That is also a sort of sales promotion. Okay, there are many types of sales promotion. To name a few is, let's take one scenario. Okay, case number one, where you will have an agent. Okay, now this agent will call you and he will sell the product. He will give you all the details about the product and he will try to convince you, and you will order the product. That is one type of sales promotion, where once you buy the product, he will get something called as commission. Okay, so that is one type of sales promotion. Another type of sales promotion is this. I hope everybody understood the first case. Did you understand this first case where the agent will get the commission? Did you all understand the case number one? Okay, now let's understand what is case number two. Now, case number two is, you are just going to a store and buying. Okay, so normal sales will happen. Now, in this normal sales, they will give you discount. Okay, let's say they're giving you 20% discount. Now, once you get 20% discount, you're happy, you buy the product. Now, while paying, instead of cash, you are using card. Okay, so he will say, now since you are using card, I'm gonna give you extra 5% discount. So how much is your total discount now? 25%. So this also includes in your sales promotion. Okay, when they give you these discounts and they encourage you to buy the products more and more, that is also part of sales promotion. Next, direct marketing. Direct marketing is the company people themselves trying to market out the product, and they are making sure that the sales are happening. In any problematic case, or if there are any issues, they involve directly to make sure the issues are solved. Now, direct marketing cannot be used for too big companies. Small companies, they go with direct marketing, because if it's too huge of a company, they need to have a marketing team who will take care of all of these things. Then publicity. Excuse me. Publicity or public relation, giving out the pamphlets, brochures, putting out the banners, flux. Excuse me. All these are part of publicity. You make sure public know about what is happening in your store and how to deal with that. Or sometimes if it's any kind of very new company or very new shop, they will put out lot of small posters nearby houses, or they'll come and drop in the posters inside houses or inside the gate. All that is part of publicity. Next, nearly all organizations, whether for profit or not for profit, in all types of industries, must engage in some type of promotion. Now, this you have to understand two things here. Now, it is for profit organization, not for profit organization. When you're talking about for profit organization, it means normal companies who wants to make money by selling the products. That is normal for profit companies. Not for profit companies means charitable institutions. Okay, they don't work for profit as the main motive. Okay, they for them profit is not the main motive. They are service oriented. They want to make sure people are helped, or they want to make sure the work is done. Okay, so such type of uh, you know organizations are not for profit, something like NGOs. But both of the companies are expected to do the promotion. Why promotion? For profit companies, they want profit, so they do promotion. Not for profit companies, why they do promotion is they can attract some donations. Okay, so for the sake of donations, they do a little bit of promotion. This is not compulsory. This does not apply to every not for profit organization, but maximum of them do. Firstly, because they want to make sure they help many people, or they like to reach out many people. That is the first major reason. The next reason is, if there are any wealthy people, or if there are any people with more money who would like to donate or make donations to such organizations, they can also do the things. So that is why they do promotions for profit and not for profit organization. Then such efforts may range from multinational firms spending large sum on securing high profile celebrities to serve as corporate spokesperson, to the owner of a one person enterprise passing out business cards at a local business ship meeting. So they're giving an example type here. So they're saying that every company has a CSR part of it. Okay, so which means they are supposed to compulsorily help the society to grow. Not only the company, help sorry help the society also to grow along with the company. Then there are few multinational firms, excuse me. Okay, sorry, let's continue. So there are few multinational firms who get celebrities to as ambassadors, to say, okay, see, we are doing such good works here, and they will also be charging profit. That is also a type of promotion. Now you can see many advertisements where you will see cricketers coming for advertisements, celebrities, cinema people, okay, the hero, heroines and all that, all cinema characters, celebrities being part of advertisements. Okay, so that's also part of promotion. That's also called as promotion. Okay, let's see. I will try and find few interesting ads for you, which is suitable for you to understand the concept of promotion. Maybe next class we will see certain ads. Okay, so this is promotion. Now coming to objectives of promotion. Why this promotion is done, or what is the basic need of having promotions being done in the company? Firstly, to build awareness. So every person must be able to understand and know about the product. Now why are we using Johnson and Johnson, or why are we using, let's say, Amrutanjan? Okay, Amrutanjan is one company which came out with these headache balms and all that. Okay, so why are we using Amrutanjan? Because everybody knows. Now nobody calls it as headache balm, or they don't say, okay, I have a headache, give me, some type of ointment. No, they directly ask for Amrutanjan or Zandu balm. So these companies have replaced the original word for the product. So that is how these promotions plays a major role. So that the first point is to build awareness. More and more awareness you build among the people, they will be able to understand the product and build a connection with the product. So every day you have new companies, you have new products coming into the market, but you have to know which product is authentic to buy and which you are comfortable with. Then to create interest. Now customers are the people who make decisions which they want to buy. Now if you want to, let's say your mother wanted to buy a sari. So if you take her to a shop, okay, a textile showroom, so she maybe she would prefer silk saris all the time. Why is that interest towards silk saris? First thing, it's a personal interest. Next, they think it will last longer than other types of material. So decision is made by your mother while buying the product. Similarly, every customer will make the purchase decision by themselves. Certain time they are confused what to which one to buy and all that, but still the end decision will be made by them. So the product whichever you give to the customer must be interesting. So if you give the product without any features or without any advertisements, nobody will be interested even to look at the product. So promotions is always there to create more interest about the product, to give more information about the product. So that is our next point, that is to provide information. Now why should I use the product? Okay. Now let's take just a normal coffee powder. Now you have so many brands of coffee powder, so many variety of coffee powders. You have something with normal filter coffee, you have instant, you have cappuccinos, mocha. You have so many varieties that you can even prepare at home. Okay, and your new type of dalgona coffees are also included. Now why should people try out all these things? First thing, it looks very interesting. Okay, why did that dalgona coffee became so viral? Because it was interesting for people to try. Second thing, it was easy. So it's like, okay, everybody is doing, let me also try and see. Every customer is curious like that. So that curiosity has to be encashed by the companies. So that is why they provide the information. Then to stimulate demand, the right promotion can make people buy the products easily. Something like, you will have to give the samples. You'll have to give the samples. You can see sometimes you'll get these shampoo sachets in the newspapers, oil sachets in the newspapers. Okay, all this will be free samples given. Or they come out and give you free demo about water filters. You can see few Aquashore, yeah, I think it is Aquashore kind of companies, who where the salesman is there, no, he's near the bus stop or he's standing in the main junction where he'll be able to demonstrate about the product. So what does he do is he explains in such a way that the people wants, or the people will feel like buying the product. Okay, so that is to stimulate the demand. Okay, so these are four objectives of promotions. Any doubt in that four objectives? Did you all understand? Anybody has doubt in that? Okay, everybody understood. Let's continue. There are few more objectives of promotion. An important 6 marks question for you to write. You can write the points in your own words, but make sure these main underlined points are there as the headings. Okay, let's continue. The fifth point is to encourage bulk purchases. Now, this is something like a wholesale purchase has to be done by a customer. So, if when your product is good, or when you're able to reach to more customer base, or more customers are willing to buy your products, then you can sell your products in a bulk. Excuse me. Like a pre-holiday, there's a example given. A pre-holiday newspaper advertisement may remind customers to stock up for the holiday by purchasing more than they typically purchase during non-holiday periods. Now, what are they talking here is, when they see any advertisement about pre-holiday offers, actually, if not for COVID situation, this is the summer holidays time for all the school students and usually college going people also. So parents would plan out for summer holidays tours or vacations and all that. So what uh, people do is, they reduce their expenses during holiday periods, so they can save more, and uh, they can save more and go on a holiday, okay, just before their holiday vacation starts. Now, once they are back from their holiday, they would continue to spend in a reasonable amount. So these are few examples that they have quoted here. But to encourage bulk purchases is always to make sure you get enough profit and your products are sold enough in the market to have a good customer base. Now, if you take essentials like LPG cylinders or rice, all these are given out in the quantities. Okay. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Next point is to create repeat customers. This is one of the challenging tasks for any shop or any company for that matter. Now customers are not loyal. Before, customers were very, very loyal. They would never leave that corner provision shop. They would, never go to any other shop except the, person who always, delivers the cow milk to home. They have certain people fixed. They don't change those people at all throughout their lifetime. That was the scenario before. So they were very, very loyal customers buying the products. But today, customers are not loyal. Companies have to convert customers to be loyal. How can that be done? Only by their services or the best quality products. Now, if you want to buy a sports running shoe, let's say you want to buy a sports shoe of Reebok. Now you go to Reebok showroom. Now, let's say you have not checked online, you don't know how to check online. Okay, you're going to showroom directly. You go and visit the showroom, and you see that you did not get your size. Okay, the size was out of stock. Now, none of the customers like when they say out of stock. So immediately what they do, they leave Reebok showroom. Next to Reebok showroom, if you have, let's say, Puma, you go to Puma showroom and check your size. If you like the model, you buy. So within few hours, you changed the shoe brand which you always wore from Reebok to Puma immediately. So such customers, it was only one example with the shoes, but same thing happens with textile, with your eatables also. Many times you just want to buy some products, you will not even be specific about the brand all the time, except for your shampoos and soap and face wash. Except for these skincare items, other general items, you're not brand specific. So to create repeat customers, to create customers visit the shop over and again, it is very, very challenging. So that has to be made, and that can be made through promotions. The more you promote your product or promote your company, the people will have to believe in your company. Then only they will repeat, or they will come back to the products or the company once again. To reinforce the brand, once the purchase is made, the retailer can use promotion to help build a strong relation. So once first time when they buy the product, if they are impressed by the product, then they will surely come back to the store once again. So once you stitch any of the dress or let's say any of the shirt or trouser from a tailor, if you like the way the tailor has stitched your dress or the textile, then you would surely go back to the person and ask him to stitch another pair or another set of dress for you. So first time, if you're impressed about the product, you would like to go. But the same thing, first time you're not impressed by the product, you did not like the product at all, you hesitate to do the purchase next time, or you hesitate to go to the store once again. So that is where first time every product or every showroom has to impress the customer. So servicing or making sure the customer is happy is very, very important in promotion. Then they've given a small example. Let's see. For instance, many retail stores now ask for customers' mail address so that follow-up emails containing additional product information or an incentive to purchase other products from retailer can be sent. So they not only email address, they also usually collect phone numbers also, so that they follow up with you. Okay, they call after 2 days and ask, is the product okay, or do you want to exchange the product? Or they will say, since you have bought the product this time, we are giving you a coupon, so next time if you purchase the product, the discount will be there on the coupon code. So all this is making you people to go back to the same store to purchase the product. This Reliance Trends, and there's one more store, Unlimited, all these are very, very well versed. They're experts in making people as repeat customers, because every time you buy a product from these Reliance Trends and Unlimited, they'll give you a coupon. Okay, they'll give you 2 coupons. One coupon, immediate discount will be done. The another coupon, they will say, you please come after a week and shop once again. That time we will give you extra coupon, plus this coupon discount will be given. So such a lot of offers of these kind of come up now, which will make customers go back to the same store over and again to buy the products. So these are few objectives of promotions. Okay, any doubt in the objectives of promotions? Everybody understood? Now, let us see the communication part. Now, this communication is a part of your promotion. Okay, without a communication, promotion is not complete at all. So let's understand few basics about communication. Now, communication is a process where people exchange meaningful information. So this is important. Meaningful is important here. So it's just not talking something. Okay, whatever the information is given to the person or to the people there has to be meaningful in nature. Then communication is an important aspect of promotional activities. The offers and discounts are to be communicated effectively so that the desired results can be achieved. If you do not talk very effectively to the customers, then in that case nobody is going to buy the product. They will simply walk back and say, okay, you were not attractive enough in explaining about the product. Then who are the participants in communication? So communication means only one person, if he starts talking to himself, they will directly take him to Nimans. So in a process of communication, there should be at least 2 people. So minimum of 2 people has to be present. So who are the 2 people? First person is called message provider. Now let's take this example only. In the class, I am the message provider. I am teaching concepts of retail management to all of you. Okay, and you people are message receivers. Okay, you are many of you, so you are message receivers. So there are two participants. Now here I have many participants and I'm only one message provider. So that is the process of communication. This is the basic process. So under that, let's see, who is a message provider? Message provider is a person who intends to convey information to the other party. Now it is like a salesperson. He will come, he will explain the product, and he will say, okay, this product is good, that feature is good. You want to buy a mobile phone, okay, you go to Purvika or Sangeeta. He will explain you everything. This has 24 MP pop-up camera, 12 plus 5 plus 8 MP. You have 4 cameras, 5 cameras. Then you have the RAM speed is 5 GB, 6 GB, 8 GB. Then you have some quad core processor, 6-inch display, Gorilla Glass. Then you get cover free. Then the backside is matte black. You have color, rainbow colors. Okay, there are so much of information given from the salesperson. So he is information provider. So message provider. Message receiver, it is customers or the end person who is buying the product. So he will receive all the information from the people. So these are the major participants. Then going forward, what is the process? Now this process, let us understand using this diagram. Okay, it will be easy for you to understand using this diagram. Then we will go back to the slide and go through it. So there will be a sender of the message. Now let's take an example of the purchase of mobile phone. Now sender of the message, he is sending a message, okay, and that message has to be encoded. Okay, he will send a message in particular language, and the system is going to encode the message, and that encoded message will reach the receiver. Now I am talking here. Let's say I'm using an headphone here to communicate. Now my voice is going through the headphone, which reaches the computer, where it goes through the app. And as you are also using the app, you will be able to get my voice. So once it reaches you, your mobile phone or your laptops will decode the information and you will receive the message. Now once you receive the message, okay, now when I ask you people after each topic or after each slide, when I ask you people, did you understand, which means my question is encoded here and it has decoded in your system and it has reached you. Now you will give a feedback to me saying yes or no. So receiver is going to give a feedback here to the sender. So I am sending a message to the receiver. I'm a sender. I'm sending it to you people. You will give me the feedback back to the sender. And there's something called noise. Noise is nothing but it's a barrier, or it is some disturbance that you find. Sometimes you're not able to hear my voice, or you're not able to see the PPT. Now these are few disturbances which happens in between in the technology. The same thing happens here. Now let's take for example, we are in a fest, college fest is happening. Okay, and there is some concert. Okay, there's a mini concert happening in our college. Now we are sitting, all of us are sitting together and talking. Will we able to hear each other's voice? It's very difficult because the concert volume, the music and the song, everything is on a high level of volume. So that is a noise which will restrict our information being passed. If I ask you people, did you have breakfast, you will not be able to hear me because there is noise which is stopping the information to reach the receiver. So this is one of the barrier to the communication process. Okay, hope everybody understood the communication process. If you're lucky enough, you can get this question for 6 marks. It is very easy to explain. You can use this diagram also and explain it. Okay, let's just go through the slide before, that is the communication process. Here, in order to convey the message, the source must be engaged in message encoding, which involves mental and physical process necessary. Now, both mentally and physically, you're supposed to be, present there. Now, if you're not able to mentally, physically be present in the, uh, let's say, for example, in the message, when I'm teaching, you're only mentally absent. You'll be daydreaming and you'll be physically present in the class. That does not make any meaningful information. If you are both mentally and physically present, then you will be able to get the message. Then this undertaking consists of using sensory stimuli, which as visuals. Now, if I add up diagrams, I will add symbols, I'll add photos in this PPTs. So that will, immediately say, okay, now I understand this concept easily with the pictures. Okay, so if we are using, instead of reading all the theory in this slide, when I taught you using the diagram, it is more easier for your brain to, understand these images and get the message easily. Then, for messages to be understood, the receiver must decode the message by undertaking mental and physical processes necessarily to give meaning to the message. So you should be able to understand whatever I am saying here. Now, we are not communicating any secret information. Okay, we are not talking anything about some government process or some secret mission that is happening. So we talk in normal English. We will try to communicate as clear as possible. Now, if it is some secret mission, then they will use all the codes, reverse alphabets, numbers, alphanumeric. Then it is little difficult for us to understand the message. So we have to crack the code and then only understand. Okay, so for us it is direct message which has to be understood. Then clearly a message can only be decoded if the receiver is actually exposed to the message. If you have got complete message, only then you will be able to understand. Now, for example, if you see a message, your normal message, sometimes you will get half of the message and then there will be a cut, and after some time you will get another half of the message. Okay, so that is a little barrier in the communication that will, stop the communication in half and again complete it later. So this is a communication process completely, which we saw best with the diagram. So sender encoding message, then the message is decoded and it is received by the receiver. Receiver will give the feedback to the sender. Noise is certain disturbances that happens in between, which can stop us by receiving the stop us from receiving the message. Okay, noise can be from the sender, or noise can happen in between, or it can happen with the receiver also. Okay, any doubts until here? Okay, so we will stop here for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you, students.